What's the history of your business?
Well, I started out working at a at Peterbilt of Northwest Ohio, and so I did title work and made coffee and office job kind of stuff. And during that time, my husband started his business, and then we adopted our son, and I decided that I needed to be home. And I missed being out with people, so I signed up at the YMCA and I started doing like swim lessons with him. Met a gal there who said, "Oh, you'd be really good at teaching." And so I got a certification in step aerobics. Have you ever heard of step aerobics? No, they don't usually do it too much anymore. And one thing led to another. The same gal said, have you thought about personal training? You'd be really good at that. So I checked into it and ended up meeting a gal who owned the studio before me. Her name was Mary Pinzone, and that was in 1999 or 1998. And I fell in love with Pilates and decided that I wanted to get a certification in it. So she directed me to Core Fitness, Core Dynamics out of Santa Fe, New Mexico. And so I took classes there and in Chicago and ended up getting my certification in Pilates in 2000. And then shortly after that, Mary and her husband moved to Virginia, so the studio was for sale. And I ended up purchasing the studio in 2002. And shortly after that, added yoga and gyrotonic to the studio. I also added Equilates, which is sport-specific to equestrians. And then we, shortly after that, we added the aerial that you're so interested in. And I got my certification in that in Boulder, Colorado.
Tell us about your programs and your classes.
Well, what we do here mostly is personal training in Pilates, and we use the Pilates equipment. We have lots of equipment, and most people don't know that there's equipment involved in Pilates. And so there's a reformer, there's what they call a Wunda chair, a Cadillac, ladder barrels. Those are the more known pieces of equipment. And so we, like I said, do personal training. We also do what we call semi-private training, where people can buddy up with a friend and work out together that way. And I can take up to 4 people at a time on the reformers because we have 4 reformers. And then in addition to that, we offer group classes. And our group classes are Pilates. We do a combination of Pilates and yoga. And then we teach yoga classes. And then we teach one that's called Strong Arms, which utilizes the aerial hammocks. And so it's very good for working the whole body, but especially the upper body.
What do you think keeps people on a fitness program long term?
Well, one thing is that with Pilates, it's very different from weight training, and so they don't get bored. And Pilates works deeper muscles, so along with that, you build an elongated, more flexible muscle and a more defined muscle tone, and so it makes you more flexible. And so with that, because it works you deeper, it's like an onion. You know what an onion is like? So you start working out here, and then your body accepts the out here, this layer, and then as it accepts that, it's like, oh, there's a light bulb that kind of goes off in the body, and you pull in a little deeper, and then you work here for a while, and you just keep doing that. And along with that, there's hundreds of exercises that we can do in here with the different pieces of equipment and different levels. So you start somebody out, at beginner level, and some people say, oh, I can't move very well. Well, the beauty of that is that this is designed to move people. Joseph Pilates designed the Cadillac during the war to mobilize men so that they didn't die of they didn't die of influenza. They were surviving their war wounds, but they were losing men from influenza. And so by moving them, It strengthened them and kept their lungs clear. Part of the exercise is learning how to breathe and using the belt of your body to strengthen the muscle tone, which in turn strengthens the back. And I think people continue because it's fun, and every workout is different because we can change it up. We have so many options for that and so many levels. I have people who've been working with me still since I started, and so I'll be celebrating 16 years in business in November, and so that's pretty exciting for me to have several people that are still here and loving it.
Who would be a good candidate for your program?
The beauty of that question is anyone. So I've worked with students that are younger, that might be dance students, or in basketball or golf or something like that, as long as they're tall enough to handle the equipment. And usually that's around age 10, 12, depending on how big they are. All the way up to, we've trained 90-plus-year-olds in here. And the beauty of Pilates is that we can design a program that fits anybody. If they have health issues like fibromyalgia, or we have people that have been in wheelchairs that we've worked with, but we've also worked with professional athletes as well. And so it's all over the board. That's the beauty of it, that makes us and sets us apart from your basic weight training.
How much a part of what you do is educating your clients?
A huge part of it is, because what I try and teach my clients, when I teach them how to engage their core or the belt of their body, I'm teaching them to do that not only when they're in here, but out in life. So let's say if they have a desk job, they can engage their abdominals and their core, and part of that is also breathing, and they can strengthen that while they're sitting there working, and nobody knows that they're doing it. They can also use it for working in the yard. I mean, this is springtime, so, pulling weeds, planting flowers, working in the garden, anything. We talked about sports before, too, and so that comes into play. But I teach them that this is a lifestyle change, and part of it is breathing, and so most people don't even think about breathing. It's the first thing we do in life, and it's the last thing we do in life, and nobody thinks about that part in between, the beginning and the end. But it's so important, and I meet people that are so stressed out and their breath is shallow, and so we teach them how to breathe deeper, and so that releases some of that stress. And then with that, just having more efficient movement, being aware of what they're doing instead of mindlessly going through the motion.
If people would like a consultation, what would they do?
Well, they could call the studio at 419-425-0269 and set up a time to meet with myself or one of my other instructors, and we show them the studio and show them, give them examples of certain exercises that might be of interest to them depending on where they're at in life, so we don't scare them away. And then if they're interested then they can go ahead and sign up for a session or a class if that's of interest to them, if they would prefer that instead of personal training. So we like to show them what we do and make them feel comfortable before they actually get started.
Thank you for your time today.
You are so welcome.
This is Emily Knoll reporting from the Findlay Digital Media Club. Thank you for coming on board as a student sponsor.
You're welcome. I'm happy to help out, and I think this is a wonderful program, and I think it's a great opportunity for you to learn and to grow in this area, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
What other community activities do you support?
I'm a member of the Chamber, and occasionally I support the dance studio. Becky's School of Dance, I've supported in the past, as well as First Edition, show choir for Findlay, and as well as the Association Van Buren's show choir in the past.
Thank you for all you do for the community.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming on board as a student sponsor.
You're welcome. I'm happy to help students out, and I hope that you learn a lot through your experience.
What other community activities do you support?
Over the years, we've supported a lot of different community activities through the schools.
Thank you for all you do for the community.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming in and giving us the opportunity to be a part of your program.
Thank you for coming on board as a student sponsor. What are your thoughts on this program?
I think it's a great program. If you can help the community and then also help students at the same time, I think it benefits everyone.
What other community activities do you support?
We support American Cancer Society, any 5K walks supporting muscular dystrophy, the 4-H club. We have a lot of patients that request for student activities, finances, and things like that. A whole bunch of things that come across the desk that we sponsor.
Thank you for all you do for the community.
Thank you.